Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Cooper, and this is a podcast for the first day of ENH295 Banned Books and Censorship. I want to thank those of you that were able to pop in earlier today for our first Hangout, and several of you had trouble actually getting into the Hangout, so you were chatting with me, and that's fine, but I will create a video that shows you how to join a Hangout, whether you're in front of a computer or using your cell phone even. But before we get to that, I made this video to go over some of the things that people were asking about in the first Hangout. So when you first log into Canvas, you end up on this recent activities page, and many students want to go quickly to assignments. And what you really should do is go into the course. So go ahead and hit your course button and then choose your course. Whether you have one or several, choose the one that you are in at the moment. Okay, so now that you're in the class, then you can see exactly where we are and what we're doing. So the first question I had was about how do I know if I did everything I need to do for the orientation? Well, if you go back into modules or to the Getting Started area, at the bottom of the Getting Started page, you'll see the list of things that you're supposed to do, and then there's a chart. And here you can see that both Sarah and Tony have completed everything. Yay, Sarah and Tony. And if this window were bigger, let's make it smaller here. Yeah, there we go. So you can see now that they are ready. And then Yvette, Laura, Zeta, or Gabby, and Talia are all close. They just need to participate in the discussion by Wednesday. Okay, the first post by Wednesday. And then these people down here, Christy, Dylan, and Bailey, are close, but Dylan and Bailey need a Canvas profile picture, and Christy needs to post her first journal in Google+. And then Deanna's on the board, but she has a couple of blank spots here. Canvas profile picture, and then both her journal and the discussion. So get in there and get all of this done. Make sure your Y's across the board and ready is here by Wednesday. Any student who is not here with a ready next to their name by Wednesday midnight, then I will drop them on Thursday morning. So that's what you need to do, and that's how you find out. So this gets updated not instantly. So I'm going to update it maybe 2 or 3 times a day until Wednesday. So if you do something, don't expect for it to show up right away. I have to go in and actually edit the form. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so we had another question about the student information form, and many of you were indicating that after you filled out the form, there was a thank you message that told you to go to a Ning site. That was an old message, so I've deleted that, so you won't see that anymore. So go ahead and fill out the form, and when you hit submit, it'll just say thank you. Go ahead and participate in the discussion. So I did have another comment about the discussion. So the comment was, what do I need to do for this to be a good discussion, and how many times do I have to participate? So right down here, it tells you exactly how many points it's worth. There's a rubric with the breakdown, but also I've highlighted some key things that makes for a good discussion post. So we're looking for about 100 to 150 words, and your first post will show up only after, you won't see anyone's post until after you post your first post. And you'll post your first post like Sarah did here and Tony did here. But then what you'll need to do is reply back to these people that are in your class. So I'm looking for a minimum of 5 posts for this week. And this week meaning this discussion ends by Friday of next week. So it starts today, Saturday, and then you have until Friday. But your first post needs to be posted by Wednesday. Okay, so that orientation is just finishing up the first post. Then you can come back in all next week and participate further. But make sure you read this part here to make sure that you are answering and responding in the format that I'm looking for. Okay, so just keep in mind that if you're going to reply to someone, then underneath their post, hit the reply button here. And when the box opens up, just go ahead and repost your reply. We will all know that that is a reply to this post above here. Okay, so we had another question about what book do we need to read. So right now we're just reading about banned books. We're not actually reading the book. So I gave you 3 articles to read for that discussion. But as you scroll down, you'll see that once we are finished with the orientation, which includes, all of the things on that list, including these 2 lessons, then we'll actually get into the bulk of the class, which is the first module. And the first module has a module overview. And then there's units, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, Unit 5, and Unit 6, all for this module. If you go into the Module 1, you will see the breakdown of everything that you will be doing in that module in this little box. So you can see that you'll have a journal, what chapters you need to read, in what unit, and so forth, and how many points are available. You also will see that our first book that we're reading is Lady Chatterley's Lover, and it is available for you free to download right here. So there's three different, or not three, but lots of different versions of the book that you can get for free. And then of course, if you just want to buy it for 99 cents for your Kindle, you can do that at Amazon as well. But you can add it to your Kindle here. And if anyone needs help learning how to add their books to their phones or to the Kindle or whatever device that you might have that you want to read it on, just let me know and I'll help you out with that. So Module 1 will give you the breakdown and everything that you have to do with the units and so forth. Okay, but the best way to figure out what is due and when it's going to be due is to look at the calendar. So here's our calendar. You can see that today is the 25th and class officially begins. And then we did a hangout earlier today at 11. And then you can see that your first assignment is due, Journal 1 is due by Wednesday, and as well as your orientation. So I can add in an event and just say that orientation due and put in a date and so forth for this class and then submit it. And you can do that as well. You can add things to your calendar that only you will see. So if you go through and look, you will see that there's a pattern that emerges with this class. All of the discussions are due on Fridays. All of the journals are due on Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesday, Sunday. Wednesday, Sunday. Okay, so I tried to explain that to you in the course overview, but a lot of times we just don't get it until we keep looking at things. So the calendar is very important. You can also add your calendar feed to your own calendar. So if I go ahead and copy this calendar feed and then go over to my Google account. Okay, so here I am in Gmail. I'm just going to go over to my calendar. Okay, and you can see that I already have all of the assignments from the class in here, and the reason why is I've added the calendar. So just go in and click Add by URL, and then paste in that URL that you got from Canvas. It looks like this, and a bunch of gobbledygook at the end, and then you say Add the calendar. I've already added it, so now I can see right here that the calendar has been added, and now all of the assignments are showing up. This one right here. Okay, so all of your assignments I have several classes, that's why there's so much, but all of your assignments will show up and you can make notifications for them and get reminded about things that are due. Okay, so I'm going to look at this journal right here. The date's wrong, or the time's wrong, I need to change that, but I'm going to go into more details, and then I'm going to add a reminder. So I'm going to either get a pop-up or an email to remind me to do that assignment when it's due, and I click Add that reminder, and then it's there. So now when this journal number 3 is due, I'll get an email 10 minutes before. 10 minutes is not enough time. Let me change that to 30 minutes so then I'll be able to run in and write it and it won't be late. Okay, so that was pretty much all of the questions that I had from the Hangout. So I'm back in Canvas now, and as you can see on the start page here, you have the button for getting started, but then if you scroll down, you'll see that we do have the 3 modules in this class. Module 1, again, begins after the orientation, which is due by Wednesday, and then we'll get into Module 1, where we're going to be reading Lady Chatterley's Lover. So I didn't want to change this image. I didn't have time to change this image yet, so it says Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence, not LGBTQ books as listed. Okay, so that's going to be our first module. You can see the timeline there. And then we'll have a second module and a third module. So we will basically be reading 3 novels in this book. In this module, we will be reading Lady Chatterley's Lover. And in this module, you will choose from 8 different books. And in this module, you will choose from any book that is available that hasn't been done in this class in the past 2 years. So more on those later. But these 2 modules, modules 2 and 3, will open up next week. So you can't actually see them now, but you'll be able to see when the module does open up that you can choose a book. Okay, so once you get able to see this module, you'll see group book project books, and then these are the 8 books: Heart of Darkness, Ulysses, The Well of Loneliness, A Picture of Dorian Gray, The Awakening, Fanny Hill, Ethan Frome, The War of the Worlds. So you're going to choose one of those 8 books, and you're going to be in a group with 3 to 4 other people, or 2 to 3 other people. Okay, so that's module 2. So all of that is coming up, but basically plan to read 3 novels and to keep up with your journals, discussions in this class, and you will do well. In addition to those 2 things, you'll also be doing a group project and a solo project. Okay, that's it for now. If you have any questions, remember, get on over to Google Plus and just type in my name. You can say plus and start typing in my name, and then you can choose me. These are my alter ego me. And then you can send a message just to me. It's private between me and you. And if you want to just talk to everyone in the class, then remember just to choose the community, and then everyone in the class will see your message. And you can post any open or your journals. And if it's anything to do with Lady Chatterley, choose journal or module 1 and so forth. If it's just banned books in general, boom. Okay? So that's it for this podcast, and I'll see you all in class next week.